trying to stick to this schedule shit, and I'm down to like the minute, so I'm proud of myself because I'm very rarely on time for anything. However, I'm a slightly underprepared, so I'm just gonna roll ads and come right back because I just need to do a few things before we get this going. So I will be right back. But I wanted to honor my scheduled motherfucking time because I'm trying. Okay, but just give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. I feel like I look crazy right now for no reason. I think it might be the lights and camera combination. Is that better? Not really. No. See, this is what I meant by not prepared. And then in that 3 minutes I had, I didn't do that. I had to do other things. I just little all over the place. Just diving in. Back to it. So far, I would say 0 out of 10 on scheduling readings. This sucks. Or streams, I should say. Reading I can do on a dime, but trying to schedule the streams, man, I was really into something else right now, and now I'm doing this instead, kind of. And it's cool. I'll get into it. I always do. But it's like, damn, if I didn't force a schedule upon myself, um, I wouldn't have to force myself to do things I don't want to do. But like that's normal for people who work. So as someone who works for themselves, I'm trying to almost adhere to some of the same ideals that other human beings experience, right? But why? The whole idea is that I don't have to. But I'm gonna try to stick to it. I'm gonna try to stick to it. I'm gonna try to stick to the schedule. Today we're doing Thoth, Halloween Oracle, and Cosmic Deck of Initiation. Tomorrow we're gonna do Pink Deck, Demon Deck, and the Mystery Deck, and it's gonna be cool. And then on Thursdays, I think I decided Thursdays I was gonna do like just come on here and chat, if you will, just chatting. No cards, all anything goes. Ask questions, whatever you want to do. Because I do get that midweek, like I just have a lot on my mind, maybe kind of vibe where it's like I don't feel called to tell people what to do, but maybe I feel called to talk to you. So I'm gonna try to stick to the schedule, but then there'd be random times that I would want to stream, and then times like 20 minutes before I started this where I like fucking didn't want to. So we're gonna see how it goes, and I might put my hair back on. It's freaking me out. Looking at my blonde ass hair in this lighting is literally freaking me the fuck out. Okay. Anyway, is that better? Cool. Cool. See, and then by this point, I haven't streamed in 6 days. I made my schedule and chose Thursday to be my free for all day, but then wasn't thinking about the fact that I decided that on a Thursday and then didn't stream. So I was like, okay, whatever, I guess. It's fine. So I also didn't know what to title this. I was like, oh shit, I gotta start in 30 seconds. Let's just bring the fire because it's Sag season for about another week. I think Sag season ends pretty late in the month, where it's like people who are born on December 23rd still consider themselves Sagittarius, as I've seen from what I've encountered. Really late turn. So I respect it. Extend that shit. I'm cool with Sagittarian energy, right? So I'm getting this feeling, almost like in my head, every time I go to kind of shift focus back to the tarot, it's like this really intense, not a headache, but when there's only one other person in the room, it's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Are you having headaches? Thinking too much? Thinking too hard? Can't figure out where your thoughts are. Prince of Wands. Sensing a little bit of emotional immaturity. You're like, oh, I have this really bad headache, but are ignoring the fact that you're ignoring some things. Oh, the worst, isn't it? The worst. Okay. I'm putting the tower back in the deck because, like I mentioned last week, it was sitting out this whole time. I totally forgot that I like dropped it and found it after I put my deck away. And the last time I was using the Thoth deck, which would have been like September, I think. I may have broken it out like one time in the midst of spooky season, but then I took October to December off, and it was sitting up there. And then I used this, and then after I was like, oh shit, duh. So I just stuck it in the box with all my decks. It's gonna go back in. But yeah. Let's put it this way. Okay, the Prince of Wands, I say emotional immaturity, like, not necessarily lightly. not Miami. Hi. It's a nice way of saying fuck boy, really. You know, so like, there are consequences to your actions, even if you don't see them immediately. Like, that is what it is. And as a recovering fuckboy myself, it's not fun. Just because you can skate by without consequences in the moment and you think, oh, I got away with it, or ooh, Obviously I'm not a bad person if blah, blah, blah. Yeah, until 5, 10 years later, you're like, damn, I totally am seeing this situation differently. What the fuck is wrong with me? Okay, kind of, right? And it prevents your growth if you cannot reckon with the fact that your own tower moment directly related to your inability to functionally feel things. Wow. Bring the fire is right. We're burning it down tonight. Okay. Wow, more wands. All right, hey, there's some major fire energy coming through, and it is Sag season, and that was my intention, but this is a bit extreme because we're seeing so far all wands in the tower from what I'm looking at, and that's intense. That's fiery. That's emotional. But it's not really giving emotional in a good way either. Interesting. Still 11:11 on the time clock. Interesting stuff. Really interesting stuff going on here. I'm hearing the phrase Queen Mother for some reason, which is kind of funny. Hanged Man, which lately in readings I keep hearing tarot readers say like, oh, Pisces energy. And I'm like, since when or why? But I believe that Pisces would feel inclined to sacrifice themselves for others, even if there was no point, purpose, or intent with it, and they end up just hurting themselves. Kind of checks out. No offense. It just does, doesn't it? So, Seven of Swords, futility. Something's not budging. Like, something is simply not budging. I did very much jump into this deck right now, even though I was kind of easing into the night in general. The Thoth deck is always situational. This is like the review for the week. Like, it's Sunday night, and we're kind of checking out the cards and seeing what's coming up this week. There's some situation, so you can apply it to anything in your life. That's the whole point of it being situational in general, is that you can just decide what this is. There's no like specific tie over romance or work or family or anything. It could be whatever's relevant, in this case this week, because I'm doing this every Sunday. But it's pointless. You have the Hanged Man, so you have people who are really dedicated to the cause or to the situation, who are willing to give up their lives for it. And it's totally pointless to try to do anything to either change their minds, to fight this, to, whatever it is. The Knight of Wands is on his side, which I thought was like not necessarily funny, but because we have the Prince of Wands and the Tower together, it's kind of one of those moments of like, okay, yeah, my fuckboy ways and my shitty behavior and emotional immaturity has led me to things in my life falling apart at the seams, seemingly for no reason. I think the key with the Tower is that it feels like or looks like nothing caused the Tower to fall. That's usually the key difference between something like a Ten of Swords situation and an actual Tower moment. The Tower moment feels like you didn't see it coming somehow. But once it's there, you see every single fucking thing that happened to lead you there. And that's why there is an eye, right? You ever seen that shit? I did once. I can't even really talk about it. Tried to, didn't go well. Knight of Wands, stepping up, being compassionate, being the fire and flames, and putting forth the passion and everything. On its side, is it worth the effort to grow as a person? That's such a weird fucking question. I'm literally trying to imagine sitting back and being like, is it worth it to grow as a person? How are you even questioning that? Like, is it worth it to grow as a person? Excuse me? Do you need to say it again? Is it worth it to grow as a person? If I haven't made it absolutely clear, I think yes. The fuck? What the fuck? Okay. So, Queen of Wands. two things about this Queen of Wands. Because the Knight of Wands and the Prince of Wands were in question here, right? The Queen of Wands does not necessarily suggest that this would be another person, but rather that it could be representing the same journey, because you can only have one card per draw, right? So we cannot keep seeing the Knight of Wands and Prince of Wands over and over again. So now we see the Queen of Wands. Okay? There will be, I think, something that comes along and sparks the thing that leads you to the journey of growth or something like that. But it could be a person. It could be a person, because here's the thing. It's almost like you have to see to believe. Okay, so for some people, they're like, if I knew that this was going to pay off, I think I could do it. 555, right? If I knew it would pay off, I would see through it. But if we knew the results of everything we did, then we would not take the time to have our trials and tribulations, correct? If we knew everything was fail-safe guarantee, there would be no competitive spirit of the thing. There would be no surprises. There would be no joy or disappointment, right? So there's no way you can really know how it plays out, but to an extent, yes, okay, seeing is believing. So say you see the perfect version of yourself or the other person, if it is another person. For example, this Knight of Wands is you, and you haven't really fully stepped into your power, but this other person is stepped in their power, and you're like, damn, seeing is believing, okay? We have Six of Wands, victory. Sticking with the wands, dude. I said bring the fire, and the deck said, okay, madam, got you. It's all fucking fire. It's not really. There's other ones, but I'm seeing a ton of really strong fire cards. Over here we got the Knight of Wands. Not only is that victory and strength, but it's 69. Okay, but for real. Overcoming battles, but knowing there are more battles to overcome. It's never like a one-stop shop. Never has been. Never was. You may feel like you've won this fight, but then turn around, there's another fight to be had. With great strength comes great resilience. But Ten of Cups, satiety. Because you saw the success of somebody else doing it, you realize that you could also. And you have overcome one thing. What makes you think you can't overcome another thing, right? Four of Discs power. Having the bread and the butter. Having the money, drugs, bitches, liquor. Having those four people, streams of income, whatever, makes you stable. It's like true stability. Ace of Swords could be coming in like knowledge, but it's kind of going really well with, yes, it's the boats and the hoes, and not just one or the other. The Ace of Swords definitely going with that picking and choosing your battles thing. You know, victory over one, strength for the next. Ace of Swords, knowing when to pick up the sword, when to fight, and when to admit defeat. Five of Swords. We're seeing, I mean, this reading, I shuffled a bunch. I don't know. It's coming out really, really fluidly. Like, I have not had to stop and think about what the fuck this is saying at all. It's just each card subsequently, one after another, is making a whole lot of sense right now. It's kind of bizarre. We've got the Chariot. I literally just said it flows, right? Thank you. The Chariot is like slow ride, you know. It is Cancer, the Cancer card, so Cancer season, but also water flowing like a river. I don't think there's a song like that, but that's not it, is it? Anyway, it's funny I would say that just as we're getting that card. So Knight of Swords doesn't mean that there won't be work to do. Doesn't mean it won't be hard. Doesn't mean that there's not, once again, challenges to come. But once you can get over it, past it, or realize that you have work to do on yourself, is when you can finally try to stand up and be the Knight of Wands, right? Big reveal. Scorpio. You are the problem. I'm so sorry to break it to you. Underneath it all, what's stopping you? Ugh. You're the problem. Damn. Because here's the thing. Even if other people are a bigger problem than we are in our lives, the more, or I should say less problematic we become, the more we can recognize it in others. And in that, not only do we become better as a person, but we become better at recognizing it, and it's a lot harder for anyone else to blame shit on us. I don't know what that is supposed to mean, but probably. I'll say probably. Okay. And bad habits takes work, but at the end of the day, it's like, oh no, it was me the whole time. Make peace with it. Truce, coming to terms, making a treaty, blah, blah, blah. Even if it's like a custody thing, you know, like a literal, like some kind of legal truce or a will, something like that. It's kind of like, well, okay, in the long run, I got myself into this situation. I trusted my family with my grandparents' assets, or I trusted this person to have a child with them, or, you know, it can still it can still be like, how is this my fault? When it's like, yeah, but you signed up for it inherently at some point in the road, right? Something like that. 3 discs works. Make it work, and maybe take on a third stream of income if you don't already have one, which sounds crazy, but I live in the USA, and that is basically the grind. Okay? Ace of Wands. As long as your emotions are in check, you can kind of handle anything. And Queen of Discs would suggest that your money is coming back up. And the Queen of Cups would be like very maternal, loving mother energy, which is interesting. We got almost all the queens. The only queen we don't have is the Queen of Swords, but I have a few face down cards and then like a stack of cards right here. I don't know what I'm doing with that yet. But the Queen of Discs and the Queen of Cups would indicate like forward motion in terms of like at home, family, domestication. Hello, it's been a while, Wilston. You're like Dutch or something. I don't remember. You were on vacation somewhere in a boat. I was picturing you in a boat and pine trees. I don't know why. I think we talked like one time. You make rap music or something. I try to remember, but I don't know if I do. Anyways, hello, I'm back. Yeah, so I'm seeing like good things coming for both career, home life, family, and nice, thank you. Cool. Good to know. All that is looking up. You know, this is almost like working on the self is the last piece where it's like, okay, if you feel like I did all this and I did all this and blah 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 blah, okay, then turn in and you know, turn around every now and then I get never come around. Your turn to do the work. Okay. That was a mic drop, but with tarot cards. So what else we got? Face down. 5 of Wands, strife. So some people like the drama of life. Some people like to have problems. And like as much as you would think, how could anybody feel that way? You'd be surprised, and there's a slew of reasons for it. You could have a personality disorder that gets you kind of juiced up off of other people's insecurities or faults. You could also have so much drama in your life that you're more comfortable in chaotic environments. You could be, you know, a battered woman with the syndrome of battered woman syndrome, and you could prefer, of course, or you could be a man in that scenario. I don't know why we call it battered woman syndrome, anyways. But yeah, Stockholm syndrome, Beauty and the Beast syndrome, whatever the fuck's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, plenty of reasons why people would stay stuck in particularly unsavory cycles. So if you feel like you've done everything and you still can't get yourself up and out, then there's some tweaking to do in the brain, in the heart, wherever, maybe throughout the whole body, because health is not only wealth, but knowledge is also power. So your mental health gives you more personal power. Boom, baby, I love it, okay? Lovers and art. So we got Gemini and Sagittarius. really cool stuff. We have two very mutable energies right here. Art, all about creation, but keep in mind the Sagittarius card is usually temperance in most tarots, so it's not necessarily take a break, but perhaps switching lanes. If you've been partaking in a particular substance or is otherwise spending your money in some kind of way, shift that focus to a more productive or constructive hobby, such as like going from shopping to drawing, or maybe even buying art supplies instead of buying drugs, like, or whatever it is, you know. So it's like simultaneously taking a break from one thing, but only to work on another, or put your all that you are giving back to yourself into something more productive. And the lovers, of course, not only is it Gemini, not only is it actual romance and whatnot, but making a decision. So it is Sagittarius season right now. This might be a time where you're getting together with somebody. If you're wondering if things are getting serious with someone, they probably are. You might need to make a decision though about something. You might be deciding between two people, or personal personal matters. Something about personal matters. Making a decision on personal matters. Could be just a good time for Geminis. Oh, cool. That's really cool. That's exact, but that's not even, that is the odds. Is like you're a step ahead of this reading, clearly. You're like, oops, saw that coming, already handled it. So that's good. That's really good, you know? Especially because Sag season does bring in such an energy of like passion and creativity and just inspiration in general. It's like that pre-winter slump. um, and it just ain't that damn cold lately. Like, I don't know. I'm in a cold place and it's like not that fucking cold, so I'm okay with it. This is shaping up to be the best winter ever, you know what I mean? But I've survived like -30 wind chills, so the fuck. Yeah, I'm easy to please. In terms of the weather, I think, right? So yeah, the mutable energy. It is a mutable season. Sagittarius is the fire mutable, and Gemini is the air mutable. So it could also indicate that if you are an artist or you go to some kind of like art event or something during this season, which is literally only for another like 10 days, 10, 11 days, 11, 12 days. You might go somewhere and meet someone that has a lot of potential in being very important or becoming a lover, or if there is like a deadline, contest, entry, etc., that you want to get, it's like make the decision. What are you sending in? Are you going to apply? Blah, blah, blah. Kind of, it feels like a narrow window. Whoop, got to get in there. Especially it's about to be 12:12. You know, we love our angel numbers around here. We love our little portals and situations and such. So, depending on what time zone you're in, it might already be 12:12. Could already be midnight. Really good stuff. But yeah, so let's roll an ad. So I can take a second. Got a little goofy at the end. And then I have this little pile. It's not little though. It's a pretty big pile. It's all face down. So we'll see what's kind of coming up this week, I think. I keep shuffling it, but I think that's like it came out with such a big chunk that I think it needed to be shuffled. So before we check those out, like I said, I'm just gonna take a second. Head keeps fluctuating. Not just today, but tonight. Since I started. It could be the lighting. But I'm thinking it's my lurker. Whoever was here first, ugh, your head hurts because you are bottling up emotions, blabbering about nothing, blah 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 blah. Blah. You're not being honest. So be honest with yourself, with others, but you know, mostly with God. Go to confession. No, that probably really freaked someone out. They were like, "Whoa, wasn't expecting my religious ancestors to show up." Yeah, neither were we. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And I thought about it, and I didn't prepare for this moment at all. What am I even talking about? I'm not sure. I think something in these cards is going to be quite revealing, though, for me to be like, oh yeah, I forgot to think about that. So I didn't. Very silly energy. Okay, 33333 on the clock. Bottom of the deck, 2 of Cups. Message of love coming through. And it's funny because I grabbed the pile of cards that I set to the side and I left futility behind for some reason. There is no point in fighting love. I thought I was singing something and I realized I wasn't. And honestly, it was very inspired by The Lion King because last week's special interest was, of course, The Lion King Rocky Horror Picture Show crossover thing that I'm going through. It's like a thing I'm going through my brain. I can't unhear it, and I also can't wait to be king. So I'm in the madness. I'm in the thick of it. Cool. So anyway, I just hit it, but there's really no stopping love. It's like pointless to try to pretend like you don't have feelings. We just said it's causing you headaches, nausea, vomiting. If you've been like, why am I sick? You are literally repressing your feelings so badly that it's making you physically ill. Oh my God, that's a pathetic place to be. Somehow that is like more normalized, is to be like sick instead of like, oh, kill me if I ever catch feelings again. Like, you literally rather feel ill and like feel bad than just be like, I care or love or am sad about something. That's whack as fuck. That's crazy. That's so crazy. So while the ad was rolling, usually I get up, I stretch, shake it out. I just sat here shuffling the damn cards. That's why when I came back, I was like, oh, no, no, no. I was not prepared for this at all because I immediately got sucked into something. There was no thought behind it. I've been very thoughtless in general lately. But when I shuffled these cards, I got the Moon, the Eight of Cups, which is indolence, the Knight of Discs, and the Knight of Wands. So we see the Knight of Wands coming back in the upright, but after quite a process. The Moon, dark times ahead, okay? Like, literally, it's not necessarily your worst case scenario, but it's just not that sweet. And the reason it's not that sweet is because it's supposed to remind you, sort of in the same vein of having gratitude for things that you do have, even in your pursuit of wanting other things. The moon is sort of like, well, if this isn't your ideal conditions, what is? It's like, okay, okay, I can get with that. What are I? This and that. So, um, right, you kind of pick and choose what's important to you, and you only know by going through the clouds and moving with the weather. But the indolence, okay, I think it's more laziness than loneliness, but I always think of it as being very lonely. I think people get lazy when they're alone, right? If there's no one to impress or no one to work with or no one to help you or no one to see it, I think loneliness is a huge cause of laziness. But the indolence card, even though by definition I think it's also indolence, right? I don't know. Something about this card definitely gives loneliness. But then we have Knight of Discs and Knight of Wands. Okay, so we see these two knights are walking towards each other, and they don't necessarily have different purposes, but they have different approaches. Okay, so the Knight of Discs is coming in stable. He's coming in with an offering. He's coming in like with something to give. Okay, he's done the work. He's very tired. He's like at the end of his road, basically. Whereas the Knight of Wands is coming in very passionately, head held high, chin held higher. Okay, coming in just trying to sweep somebody off their feet, be the hero, be the center of attention, be the spotlight. And they're coming at each other. And like, I don't know if that is to suggest that it's in a way that they are facing one another, like in battle, or facing maybe their own emotions head on. I'm not really sure what these knights are representing, but it almost seems like a conflict of interest. for some reason, is what I'm getting. Some kind of conflict of interest. Where these two sides of you, these two people, these two ideals, these two projects, whatever it is, these two things are coming to a head and they are about to crash into each other. But it's not necessarily that the crash means that they are clashing or gonna bump heads, but they're coming together. They're moving towards each other. I mean, they're moving towards each other. I don't get that though. It could also kind of represent the bridge between Sag season and Capricorn season approaching, where those few days of transition might mean something, but it is a really weird energy. This could be very like male dominated reading. We had the Prince of Wands at the focal point, and we're seeing the Knight of Wands at the end. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's a little confusing. But it might just be it's masculines trying to amends things with each other, being able to work shit out with your friends, men, like the guys, the fellas, the boys, like having an altercation, getting over it instead of like never speaking again. Whereas, you want second chances in relationships, but don't even offer those second chances to the people that have been there for you 100%, let alone like a cheating ex or something. That feels oddly specific, doesn't it? Owie. Feels oddly specific, doesn't it? But yeah, I mean, if you can't do that with each other, why would you ever involve anyone else in your bullshit? So, I don't know. It seems like someone's coming in more logic and physical, material kind of offerings, and someone else is coming in very emotionally, very charged, kind of riled up even. All right, let's look at this pile. Four of Wands, completion. Something is finally resolving itself, coming to a close, kind of getting tightened up in a sense. It's like, cool, got through it. That's it. Just awesome. Finally got through it. Great. The Hermit. Maybe it's a good time to spend some time alone, Virgo energy, right? An adjustment, Libra. So we have back to back Hermit, Justice, Virgo, Libra. Is it personal? Yeah. So completing that cycle, closing out, relying on the self, becoming independent, removing yourself from codependent situations, adjustment, right? Getting used to it, understanding that your choices have consequences, and also moving on from it. Getting used to anything that comes your way, being able to cruise on the fly. What is the word I'm looking for? Not adjustment. Like rolling with the punches, making it accommodating. Okay, accommodating to what life is and what life throws at you. Okay, Nine of Swords, cruelty. Something haunting you, right? Something just getting at you. Could be drug addiction. If you're dealing with a Virgo or a Libra, there could be some kind of addiction. There was something that happened between Virgo and Libra season that would have been consecutive months of like August, September, October. Could be anything, but this Nine of Swords is definitely self-inflicted wounding. You cause problems and then feel bad. Feel bad about yourself because you caused all these problems. You hurt yourself, blah, blah, blah. That's why I personally am like, I think we should stop calling addiction a disease. Controversial, I know. And not really trying to make sense of that in this moment. But it gives a very much a victim mentality when in reality you are making yourself sick by actively choosing to do drugs despite having a genetic disposition for addiction. So like, let's stop there. Let's get it straight right there. You are doing this to yourself. Very much are. But good news for you, the sooner you work that out, the better, because the Wheel of Fortune is there behind all that self-sabotage. Things will turn in your favor. Queen of Swords, maybe you take charge of yourself, okay? Oh, But Prince of Swords, man, even your best efforts go sideways sometimes. Maybe you didn't have as good of a plan as you thought you did. Maybe you go in swinging and you cut the wrong person, okay? And Five of Cups, disappointment. Cool, so it's never getting better? Probably not, dude. I don't really know what to do. This is literally why I stopped reading tarot, because it felt so oddly personal, even when I was trying to do general readings. And it's like, there's no way so many of y'all fucking up this badly. But, you know, if you don't relate to it, perhaps think of yourself as a cross watcher and realize this is what the other person that you're dealing with is going through, right? So there's always that aspect of it. Dominion, something that would indicate your home life. Could be relationships, but it's really the idea of domestication at all. So you're like disappointed with what you got, basically, when you should have been thankful for what you had. And now it's kind of like nothing's ever too late, but it's like you could have got away with less work had you not gotten so out of control and gotten so off track and gotten so fucked up and gotten so many people hurt in the process, etc. Where it's like, could have been easy, now it's hard. Can you still do it? Sure, you can do fucking anything, can't you? Magician, manifesting, as above, so below. However, as within, so without. You don't like what's going on around you. What's going on within you? Okay. What's that then? What's that then? 4. What is that then? Make a wish. Not a djinn, but hey, you can try it. Lust. You're wishing for sex? That's lame. No, but Leo, right? Leo season, fire season right now, fixed energy. But yeah, lust is Leo or strength in most decks. Might have a strong Leo placement or someone that you want. But yeah, lust is like the physical attraction, even obsession. Yikes. Yikes. And the Hierophant, just to ice it on there. Leo, then Taurus. Following tradition, adhering to what you know, sticking to the plan, knowing that you are destined for something is the general energy of the Hierophant. So you know you fucked up. You know you were fucked up. You know you still kind of are fucked up. And you know that everything's fucked up because of you. Because that's where not even the tarot cards can help you. You have to know why. You have to understand that what is one thing, surface level stuff, things that are obvious out in the open. The why, not so much. Definitely a bit more of a dangerous road. I would even say, even if the why is, you know, asking why you feel this way about something, those are rabbit holes that are hard to come back from. To ask yourself why something is a explorative feat in itself. I went down that road for a long time of why. And at the end, I would be like, can't recommend it. I say that about a lot of things I've done. And it's because perhaps maybe my life isn't necessarily where I want it to be. But part of that is because I never saw myself being anywhere or doing anything. I just, too in the moment, too much, this is what feels good right now. This is where I want to be right now. This is awesome right now. I'm grateful right now. I'm enjoying this right now. I don't want to think ahead right now. And so I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, that's why people plan for things, isn't it? Whatever. I'm okay with that. Not everyone is. That's the ability to embrace change and see it as it comes rather than trying to influence it at all. Yeah? So whether you're leaning more towards the way of being too passive or leaning towards the way of being too controlling, there is a great balance of acceptance that comes with changes. Because if you are passive with changes, then things will pass you by and you're like, oh, it's changing, there's nothing I can do about it. But isn't there some kind of wisdom in knowing what you can and cannot change, as the saying goes, in a short way? Okay, so who is to say that, doing nothing is the best way to embrace change, whereas we all kind of know that trying to control something too much makes you micromanaging, almost said conundrum for some reason, rather than like annoyance. Um, where if you see things are changing and you try to say it should change this way or you want it to change that way, you know, it's the balance of the two. Accepting that things are changing, but you will only accept what's good or right for you. And also being able to let go enough to know that nothing you do, even if you still decide to do it, will in fact change what has already happened or is happening. Okay? Princess of Swords, because if you do not take the initiative, there will continuously be disruptions, right? Because that's where we have the Prince of Swords and we get the Princess of Swords. The Prince and Princess are very disturbing. I'm sorry, not disturbing like spooky Wednesday disturbing, but disturbing like disturbance, annoyance, blip in the radar. So if you do not sort of like take charge and realize what you were after, or admit to the feelings that are causing you physical harm or physical pain, discomfort even, then something else will be the thing. It's just gonna keep fucking shit up and keep pushing you to do things, or things be done to you, to get you to open up to the idea that you're suppressing or repressing certain emotions. And that's why you're not getting on with things, right? um you're doing your best though, maybe, I don't know, because the sun is here. So if we started, the moon was very earlier in this reading, and now we finally get to the sun. The dog days will end. Okay, they will be done. But right now, step by step, making the investments, taking the time, watering the plants, counting the seeds and watching them grow is going to be your best bet. Investing in the damn skincare routine, investing in the fucking vitamins, investing in a new pillow. Okay, I don't know who's had the same pillow for like 20 years or whatever, but get a new one. So many things like that. You can invest time too into yourself, time into your long-time beloved hobbies, or time with family, time by yourself, time in silence, time in the bath, time in the shower. Which, okay, water is money, but it's such a fucked up statement. Either way, you get what I'm saying. You can just spend time reading a book you bought yourself a long time ago and never made the self time to read. Okay, so you can invest in yourself and in your life in so many ways, financially or otherwise. Painting your nails can even be an investment into yourself, even if you already have the nail polish, okay? Things like that. Self-care doesn't stop and end at a face mask, but when you constantly remind yourself that it's worth being cared for, it becomes much easier to care about it, okay? Knight of Cups, happiness. Ultimately, this is the longest road to happiness, because instead of just being happy for what you had, you are suffering from what you've lost. And like, that's not good. Ah, yeah, but you fucked it up. 9 of Discs, gain. 7 of Cups, debauch on its side, where it's like I could have stayed and had it all, but I cheated, or because I didn't cheat, I lost everything. I don't know what the fuck that's about. Seems like two really inconsequential things, but they come together in some regard. Okay, maybe you used to make more money, but you spent more on drugs, kind of energy. So you had to give up having the money because you were giving up the drugs, or the job was the reason you were spending money on drugs. Like, for example, like strippers or stockholders, right? Do a bunch of cocaine just to sustain the long hours and, high energy, right? So, what else? I'm not saying that's like exclusive to either one of those groups, or that all people doing either one do those things, but just like was searching for an easy metaphor that we'd all understand. Okay, so yeah, once again, 4 of Swords coming up, truce. Oof. Eight of discs at the bottom of the deck. Dear Prudence, won't you come out to play? Dear Prudence, greet the brand new day. It's funny because I almost said when I first saw this Eight of Discs, my first thought was Virgo energy, right? Because of any earth sign, but I think between the color scheme and the month of August, this just gives Virgo energy for some reason. And then I split the deck, and the Hermit is right there. So big on the Virgo energy. It could have been something that happened during Virgo season. Maybe you're Virgo dealing with a Virgo, whatever the case is. You have to be true to yourself above anything else. It becomes much easier to be able to be a loyal, reliable person if you feel like you can be that for yourself. It's hard to explain unless I could say a personal anecdote. So we have the Fool and the Sun here. New journeys ahead, and they look good. Big, bright, open brick fucking roads, right? So, tracing back to whatever I had just said about something. It'll come back. Ten of Wands, depression, yeah, emotions. Go to fucking therapy. If you cannot talk to the people that you need to talk to, then talk to someone else about the people you need to talk to, if that makes sense. It's kind of an annoying energy. Get it out, okay? Once again, make peace with what's happened. There is no one judging you. That's a bit paranoid. Yes, so what I meant by being loyal and loving and accepting towards yourself is like entrusting yourself, okay? So good example is like I am fucking highly paranoid person. I can always happen. I had not realized that paranoia was one of the many traits or symptoms of PMDD that I am so graciously afflicted with, that I deal with every single day. And paranoia kind of comes hand in hand with the premenstrual dysphoria, where all of a sudden things seem unreal. Like this is all simulation. Like none of this matters. Like I don't even know who I am. Kind of paranoia to like who's out to get me. This person's stalking me. Blah 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 blah. So for the longest time, I had no idea that there was a routine trigger for this paranoia in my life. Right? That's crazy to think about. That's really crazy to think about. There was an actual cause and a set time that I was getting paranoid every month, but I hadn't realized it. So because I attributed my paranoia full time to my personality and who I am or who I was, it was very hard for me to be able to trust anybody because I knew not to trust myself. Right? Like how could I really trust someone when I don't even fully trust what I'm seeing or hearing? Okay? Because another symptom of PMDD during that premenstrual dysphoric week is literally seeing shadows, seeing premonitions, seeing figures and stuff. I thought it was just because I talked to fucking dead people, and I honestly could understand why people thought I was schizophrenic. Turns out it's just another one of the many fucking layers and symptoms of PMDD. Wild. So it wasn't until I could master my own paranoid thoughts, realizing, hey, where are you at in your cycle? Why are you suddenly thinking this about the situation? Stop. Oh, and now I see who I can really trust and who I was duped by during different parts, or who should have been blah blah blah. And reversely, or at the same time, also seeing who I can trust because the paranoia surrounding them was falsified. So it's just situations like that. Being able to become it can definitely help you receive it back. Loyalty, trust, love, all of that. So even though I've always been someone who loves myself, I loved my whole I don't trust anybody paranoid act. It was fun. It was very Fox Mulder, okay? But, you know, I'm ready to be able to trust people because I am learning to put more trust in myself, more faith in myself, okay? On that note, let's roll the next ad break. I'm going to actually do my little dancing this commercial break. There's a few things left on the table. Nothing really super noteworthy. But yeah, I think I'm mostly done with this deck. I might just put this deck away, and move on to the deck. I mean, a straight hour with it is not bad. Pretty good. So let's roll the ad. Oh, how do the same cards keep coming out? So maybe I need to convey the message one last time in a more succinct way. But I guess I'll honor this pile and then try to put them away. So let's roll this commercial real quick. Stretch it out a bit. Make sure you've got water and use the toilet if you need to. Okay, so 3 minutes. All right. Jumped around a little bit that time. What's up, y'all? Yeah. Thanks for sticking around, by the way. It's a very quiet night. I feel like when I stream less, people talk less because they're like, man, we only get her 4 hours tonight. And tomorrow, and then I gotta wait a week. No, I'm gonna be here Thursdays from now on, too. Just to talk, no tarot. Can't do too much. But yeah, we're still in the first deck, so let me bust this out. Thank you for being here. Thanks for sticking around, quietly or not. It's funny how like a week ago I was like, I don't really smoke that much weed, and now all of a sudden I'm like, damn, I fucking, ugh. Once again, just different parts of my cycle. Tyler Durden needs to be subdued, and the best thing to use is marijuana because it's fun for everyone, right? Ugh. I'm also covering 2 more songs in my own fashion and style. And I think they're pretty much done. I'm going to try to release them tomorrow, today, whatever. 12/12, because it seems like the appropriate time to put out music, and I kind of just like that. I'm as confident as I can be being someone who really hates music production, I'm finding. So I think it's good. I think it's fun. I did one one is really just vocal layers and an audio track because someone posted it and I thought, oh, well, I could do that because it kind of fit in with my last music project that I was like, yeah. And it was actually I don't know, I wouldn't say it was any harder to work with actual music. But I noticed that I just didn't really like my vocal takes as much, and I'm wondering if it's because of the week that I recorded it, where if I'm not ovulating, I don't sound like a fucking angel, right? I love how I was talking about my music, and somebody was like, I can't. I'm here for the tarot. Cool, thank you for the support. I really love that energy. Bring it more often. Yes. Um, and sarcasm. So, working on that. And it's okay, that one with the instrumental. But the other one is a true, I don't know, punk wop. What would you call that? It's not necessarily doo-wop, but it's doo-wop vibes, acapella, whatever. Did the whole thing myself. It's a lot of fun. I really like it. I know it's not top quality sound engineering and everything, but if I like it, I'm gonna put it out, and if no one else likes it, I'm gonna continue to do what I like, anyways. I guess and maybe less covers, hopefully. I was working on like 4 or 5 songs around Halloween time, and never finished 3 out of 4 of them, and now there's this other one was not a part of that, but I made it pretty fast. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know yet. Gotta listen a few more times, but they're pretty much almost ready. So I'm probably gonna put out a couple songs today, but they're both covers. I won't say by who, but if you know, you know. You could probably guess. Um, although not completely obvious. Okay, so back to the tarot, I suppose. Power once again, 4 discs. Lust once again. Obsession and Leo energy. The Magician, magic, making it happen, being who you need to be to have the life you want. 8 of discs, prudence. Once again, Virgo energy coming out to play. Being true to yourself despite what anyone has to say. Scorpio, death. Ending that shit. 6, pleasure. Putting women first, putting the feminine first, putting your own divine pleasure before anything else. I love that for you. 2 of Swords, peace, right? We went from truce, coming to terms with and agreeing upon, but now we actually do have peace. It's not you need to make peace with like the 4 of Swords is. This is having true peace. Putting the swords down and realizing that peace is better for everyone. Knight of Cups, paternal energy, compassion, caring, coming in to fill up. Okay, to fill and not to be filled, but to fill for once. And 6 of Swords, science. It's all working out just as it needs to or as planned. That's really beautiful. So yeah, Star, Aquarius energy could be stuff closing out in the coming months, and by Aquarius season, you're kind of back to center. It could also be an Aquarius you're dealing with or something that comes as a surprise. We have the 6 of dicks. 6 of dicks. Okay, 6 of discs, which is success, being seated at the table, having the tray. However it goes, whatever you want to say, this is money. No, security, more than that, stability. Okay, and to a disc's change. In order to receive the things you want, there must be some changes that you go through, that you know, whatever. Eight of Swords, interference, because once again, when you ignore the call, when you ignore the emotions, when you ignore the feelings, when you ignore the situation, when you ignore the people, when you ignore the things, the consequences, when you ignore the actions, when you ignore yourself, when you ignore your needs, something will come in and remind thee exactly what it is that you're ignoring, or disrupt you so badly that you have no choice but to confront it, and that is the shittiest place to be. Shitty place to be. Let me tell you now, shitty place to be. Confronting shit that's been chasing after you. Girl, I couldn't. Not anymore. Come too far. Prince of Discs. Gotta learn to nurture it. Gotta learn to fucking plant it in the ground. Thank you, Curious Baby Kitten. A little overwhelmingly creepy screen name, but I dig it at the same time. Hi. And yeah, so nurture that shit. You know, if you plant a seed, you can't just be fucking staring at it. It's got to stay in the ground. And sometimes the underground is where it's at, okay? We got the Empress at the bottom of this deck right now. Seated in your power. Go femmes. Being the one and only. Unreplaceable. Irreparable. No. Yeah, sure, we'll say irreparable. I don't think that's really a word, but why isn't it? You can't fucking wreck me, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Irreparable. Irreverent. What's the word I'm actually looking for? I'm irreplaceable. But other than that, it's the other one. What's the other word? Like, how would I say unable to replicate? Irreplicable? I don't know. Yeah, like one of a kind original. You are the prototype. That's Empress energy. Okay, so hang loose and also tight. 10 of Cups, satiety. Okay, so all that in a bag of chips, baby. Yeah! Victory again, virtue for once. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so this is such a good point to make. Earlier in the reading, we have the Six of Wands, which is victory, and the Nine of Wands, which is strength. And victory, cool, you gotta win, but strength, whoo, more battles coming. Okay, I'm tired. I don't know if I have this strength to keep going. But this time, you get that win, and you decide, hey, you know what? I've won enough. Let's go. We got 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 on the clock. I actually am going to do what's best for me. I'm going to go with my moral compass. I'm not going to just fight any random battle. I'm not going to miss out or look the other way. I learned my lesson. I got my victory. And now I'm doing what's best for me, or what I believe to be best for the whole community. Virtue. Of the self, by the self, for the self. But sticking to your own moral code. So like taking these wins more seriously. Personal victories, or even a larger scale outside of yourself kind of victory. Little wins at work here and there. You got to understand that those things ripple effect across your life, and it's not supposed to be, oh, well, it's just this silly award at work. Oh, well, it's just the fucking radio contest. Oh, it's just this and that. It's like, no, it's like, oh, I won there. Oh, I won that. Oh, I won again. You know? I played the lottery this summer, and I'm still talking about it. Okay, I've played Keno before, so I worked in a bar and shit, but I never really bought a proper lottery ticket that I can fucking remember. So sometime this summer, I got a bus ticket, and my numbers sounded really, really good. I've told the story on this channel, so I'm sorry if you've already heard it, but I gotta tell you again because it's so good. It's so good. This lady at the bus was like, yo, you should play those numbers. That bus ticket is crazy. And I was like, you think so? I never done that. I will. So I played these numbers, didn't know what I was doing. I spent like $2, right? Just whatever way, 4-way, whatever. I had 2 sets of 4 digits. Split them up. That day, all the numbers they drew were numbers in my digits. They were all the same numbers. It wasn't the right order, the right combination, but all of my numbers came up. 2, 1, 7, 9. All of them came up that day. Did I win the lottery? No. But whoever did pick the number 777 won. That's crazy. When does random... Oh my God, bro. Angel numbers on top of it. I was blown away. I felt like I won. That was a win to me. That was like first time I ever played the lottery, and I got all the numbers right. Even if I didn't get the right order, even if I didn't get any money, I counted that as a win for the specific reason to be encouraging, to count those blessings and to see these victories, right? And also, thank you, Nitro, to go with the Three of Wands being virtue on top of seeing every little thing as the win that it's meant to be rather than overshadowing your own victory. That is not necessarily a moral alignment that I described, but if I played the lottery to win the money and was so close, I could have been, damn, so close. Why even bother? I lost anyway. So close, can't even get a win. You know, I could have had that mindset. But my virtues is to believe in myself. My virtue is that I am good enough. My virtue is that everything is a blessing. My virtue is that I'm very grateful. My virtue is this and that and that and this. Okay? Patience is the only virtue I seek. Truly, if you can understand. So, without that virtue, that moral code, that compass that really is truly guiding your decisions, the less you will receive from a win and the more challenges ahead, basically. Okay? That was some sick fucking advice and y'all just missed it. It's okay, you can watch the replay. It was really good. It was really fucking good. And no one's saying anything, so you're like, sure, Jan. But no, that was great. That was great. That was really great. Okay. I have this face down pile of cards here. And I'm going to go over them. I can kind of sense that people are a little bit concerned with their home life. Dominion. It does not have to be a romantic relationship. If you live with your romantic partner, then it would pertain to that. But if you just have roommates or even live with family, I'm sensing that most people that are watching this right now have some kind of domestic situation on the forefront of their mind. And so we are going to go with that being the vibe for this pile. So I already have the cards out. I'm going to shuffle them. They're face down. It's like, when is this situation going to come out on top? When am I going to maybe live on my own? Whatever the fuck the case is for you. I sense the domestic life being a sticky, tricky, or otherwise icky situation right now for some people. So let's see what we got. Let's see what you got. I think that's a big energy today. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you're bringing to the table. Let's like look at you. Let's talk about you. Or no, what's that country song? It's always you. Let's talk about me. I don't know. So yeah, home life on the agenda. Okay. Interference. Yeah, 8 of Swords. Something came up and disrupted your home life here. Something, it could have been even like an animal, like a cat you found, or some kind of fight you had with a significant other, or you have roommates who had a fight with a significant other. Could literally be anything, but something came and really disrupted your home life right now. And yeah, look, I just shuffled those, didn't I? Maybe not, but 2 of Wands, Dominion, which is what indicated this in the first place, and then 4 of Cups, Luxury. So this is a situation that you very much enjoyed up until this significant event happened. Maybe somebody broke something, didn't pay for it, rent raised, whatever it was. Something came up where you were like, God damn it, just when I was getting comfortable and I was really liking this, all of a sudden I fucking don't. What gives? Well, what gives is, what did you want in the first place? Sometimes, here's the tricky thing with, like, I guess just life, but specifically with decision making. we see the opportunity, we want to be grateful for it. We want to show the universe that we're complicit in the journey that we're on. We want to give a chance to things we think sound okay or suitable for us, right? But what we're coming to now, the reason that we're getting disrupted when things are going good, right? Where it's like, no, everything's fine. Why all of a sudden the thoughts, the feeling, whatever, okay? Is because you got to remember, is this actually what you wanted? And if it is, great. Disturbance should fix itself. Cat gets fixed or rehomed, the fight is amended, the couple breaks up, there's a fucking restraining order, who cares? But if it doesn't align with what you wanted, then it's like, fuck, man, how did I get so far off my path? Why did I end up in this place instead of where I wanted to be? Then you have to ask yourself, is what I wanted then still what I want now? Okay. So many angles to look at it. But in order to deal with what you got going on or know what decision to make because of whatever transpired, you have to understand why you're in that situation in the first place and how much it aligns with your own personal agenda, quite frankly. Your own calendar, your own schedule, your own timeline, your own life. Like, are you living here because of someone else and this person's getting you into shit and you're like, what the fuck? Why am I even doing this? Or is it like you really wanted this spot and you got it and, you'll do anything to keep it? Or are you willing to give it up quickly, It's just like whatever you were manifesting, it's either you're being tested regardless, but it's whether or not the test is you accept it or you reject it, or if you are in alignment more than anything, if you are really truly in alignment with what you have going on. So once you figure that out, what you've been going after, what you were hoping for doing, and etc., we got Princess of Discs again. Okay, planting the seeds, leaving them there, but maintaining the fields, watering them, using the hose and whatever you have to do to till and blah, 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 blah. Okay, we got that. The Princess of Discs is all about the investments. Okay, and this would be financial investment too, where it's like, yes, now that I remember what I wanted to do, I'm going to put my money elsewhere. Maybe I'm not going to put it into renovating this house. Maybe I'm not going to put it into this relationship. Maybe I'm not going to put much stake in my roommates, whatever it is. You're like, okay, I need to figure out where I actually want to invest my money, especially if you're thinking about purchasing a home, because that's the whole thing with this domestic disturbance. Are you looking to purchase in an area that you promised yourself you'd leave? Are you looking to purchase for the sake of someone else instead of saving up money? Are you, etc., whatever it is, okay? Make your own investments. Use your own money. Knight of Cups energy. So it could be like paternal figure, maybe a dad, or you are a dad, or you're dealing with a baby dad. It could be like a husband or whatever. It doesn't matter. You are the one. It doesn't, whatever. The Knight of Cups is paternal energy, and it's there to help and guide you. So maybe you need advice from a father figure. Maybe there's someone influencing your decision. Can also be perspective, but it's just giving it could be Pisces season. Pisces season is the next water season to come up. And the mutables definitely give masculine energy, don't they? But maybe it's about going to someone for help and asking for a very specific investment from a paternal figure, right? Because then things start to really work out once you utilize your resources, is kind of what I'm getting from that. So this could be a boss that you get along with really well, where they do have some kind of authority over you to exercise the knight and the paternal energy of it. But the cups is still very compassionate and nurturing. And it's not about draining you of yours, but filling up. So it could be going into business with someone who's really empathetic and actually cares about what they're doing and how they run things. And things really do start working out when you start kind of working together, is what I'm getting. Two of Swords, peace. And so let it happen, let it happen. I'm seeing 2-2 right there. Oh, who is that? Hello, who is that? um, two of swords and two of discs, and it was 22 minutes on the time clock, and my ear just started like going off. It's a couple times, and not like ear stuff. It was more in the head before, but now it's like, whoa, yeah, no, I hear you. Calm down. You're very loud. Um, it's okay. Yes, I was singing Tame Impala. Relax. I don't know why that would be such a big deal to anybody. Um, oh, somebody got embarrassed. Several. Kidding. Peace and change. So the sooner you can accept what is happening, the sooner it will happen, basically. Once you realize, like, ah, yes, this is going to make things work out. Yes, this person is good. Yes, they are going to help or replenish what I've done, blah, blah, blah. Death, Scorpio season. The star, Aquarius season. Okay, so this is a project that could have started in Scorpio season that ends in Aquarius season, or an idea, conversation, something. You, especially if there's like a person or whatever. My ear is changing right now. What? It feels like the living, and I don't like when they call me on that phone. I don't. Okay, so we have Death and the Star, both fixed signs. My readings are very full of fixed energy, but also this year was really focused on when fixed signs kind of like don't. And that's why everyone's like, damn, I need that fixed energy in my life. I fucked up or whatever. And the fixed signs are basically on perma vacation at this point. Even though we're working our asses off and never stopped, we make it look that fucking easy. That fucking easy, okay? But this fixed energy is for real. We have Aquarius and Scorpio. I'm thinking it's a timeline, but take it how you will. Ending something and a surprise, something new coming, right? Six of Cups, pleasure. Eight of Discs, prudence again, okay? And now Leo, so that's 3 out of 4 fixed signs that have come up. Could once again be dating back to Leo season. I feel like when we have a very non-specific thing going on and there's no general person or category like a zodiac reading that I'm talking to, it's hard to equate the zodiac cards with actual people representing. It could be those energies. Thank you, Bone Lush. It's kind of a cool name. Does that mean you get drunk on bone juice, or I don't know. I did drop the Six of Cups just now, and it's in reverse, so maybe like you just need to, the femmes need to orgasm, literally, like something so simple. Like if you're the mask, you need to make the femme orgasm. If you're the femme, you need to figure out why you're not orgasming. Hello, Kitty Liddy in the city with them titties. I've never seen them. I was kidding. Okay, glad we got that out of the way. Yeah, and staying true to the self, okay? Maybe some gay stuff, I don't know. 4 discs, power, 6. These are getting very repetitive, so I was trying to put this deck away and move on. Because I'm noticing the cards are really repetitive, but it's almost like, you're not hearing me. You're not saying what I want you to say. You need to see what it is for yourself. And I'm like, cool, I got you. I'll think about it later. I'm not going to do this right now. I hear you. I get it. They're like, but do you hear me? Like, yeah. But if you can't say it, I can't listen. Ain't that the truth? Listen, you can be as energetically connected to someone as you fucking believe you are, and I would never doubt that. However, if they want to pretend like that ain't true, or if you have exaggerated or connected yourself to someone intentionally, then that's on you. However, it's like, it's got to be mutual, consensual, out the mouth, not just, not virtual would be the word. You know, like, don't let people get away with too much just because you feel a spiritual connection to them. Right? 10 of Wands, oppression. That sounds unfair. Get your emotions in check. Okay. Oh. Remember how we were like, fixed sign, fixed sign, fixed sign? Guess what we got now? Not no damn fixed sign. We got the devil. That's interesting. Look, I Capricorn, Cardinal, and then I cut the deck, and on the back is Virgo, the Hermit. What was I just saying, too? That's wild to think about. With the swiftness, okay? React on those emotions. You gotta, like, if you feel something, go towards what makes you happy. Because look, 9 of Cups, happiness, okay? There's no reason to hold up. Life is not guaranteed. It's very long. Life is very long. But there's no guarantee you're going to live it. Okay? Like, the process of life, it's long. Okay? So, the priestess in the universe, you already know how this is happening. You already know what's happening. You already, kind of think you have your cake and are eating it too. But until you can, realize, like, what your own virtues or morals are, 3 of Wands, and recognize why you need negativity in order to fuel your emotional pit, okay? And until you can overcome not the obsessive nature of the relationship, but the possessive nature of the relationship, your addictions. We did have the 9 of Swords in this reading a while ago. And lust came up several times. That'd be obsession. But the devil, that's possession. Okay, I don't love it. Princess of Swords in the Tower. If you, listen, I'm gonna need to let y'all sit with that one for a second. I'm gonna take a second. Okay, we're gonna do a quick, and we'll be right back to it. We're just 60 seconds because I don't want to stay away for long. I'm just gonna piece. Okay, so just 1 minute, not even 3. Well, that felt like the quickest moment of my life. Not moment, but minute, right? That's okay. I'm back. I'm here. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Repressed emotions are literally dangerous. The fact that you haven't seen that in, like, media, not even, like, trying to say kind of like in the news, right? How like repressed emotions are not good, and how like when you hold back or don't speak up, like bad things happen. Don't we all know someone who did it's just like it's such a novice concept. I'm surprised that you'd be on this channel if you were still struggling with it. But keep in mind, you might be struggling with someone who is still trying to grasp these very basic concepts. And so, like, you might be losing patience in a connection or with a person. Like I said, because this deck is intended for general or situational readings, it could be family, coworker, romantic partner, potential romantic partner, friend. Um, it's kind of whatever's driving your week this week, whatever prevalent situation at hand. Just know that whoever you're dealing with that is frustrating you is they themselves frustrated because they're repressing these emotions. If you don't identify with someone who's like that, so just a wee reminder, you know. I think I just went through these, right? Oh my God, no, I didn't. Yes, I must have. Yeah, the tower moment. So yeah, if you don't address like the obsessions, they become possessive, where it's like, oh, you're like obsessed with this person, but oh my God, now you're trying to take ownership over this person. What the fuck? Or, oh, you're like kind of partying a lot, and now, holy shit, you spent all of the money on drugs. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, not going with the morals and stuff. So there's going to be like a big kind of breakthrough moment for you or the person you might be dealing with. I feel like the crowd shifted. I feel like at first, if you rewatch the reading, it's very much like a scolding for the people who are fucking up. And I can tell that, like, the room changed a little bit, and now it's more you're the one dealing with someone like this. I feel like I'm not even sure who's still here or whatever, but I can kind of tell that like a couple people swapped out. It's definitely like a perspective thing. So don't read too much into the you and me and they and I are yours and whatever. Project Shock sounds cool. I love when we misspell words, honestly. It's giving big jester vibes, and I like it. Cool. Oh, happy cake season. You made your account during Sagittarius season, so it's like your cake, not day, but season. Okay. Ooh, the magic came out upside down, which is good, because that means, like, no more fake magic. No more faking it till you make it. I'm good. How are you? Yeah, I'm about to be done with these cards. I'm going to take a second and chit-chat for a minute, and then I'll get into the Halloween Oracle and do some shadow readings. Those are always never fun. You think this shit's bad. It's like, man, they get rougher and rougher as you go till you get to the end. Then we just hit it with them angel inspirations. But I'm talking my mandala biblically correct angels, not the archangels. Nothing against them. Just don't get your hopes up for something it isn't. I dropped my tarot bag. Okay, got it. All right, we're putting it away. Spiritual journey, check. Emotional growth, next. Okay, that's congrats to everyone who's finally opening up about how they're feeling, maybe going to therapy. Oh, thank you. I made that just chilling one day. And then when I'm doing my makeup, I use this to blot my lipstick. So you can't tell on here, but this is like a bunch of kisses. It's pretty cute. I have no idea what it says. It's writing all over it. I'll read one thing. It says, take me home to the place I only dream of and have never been. Then, only then, will we know peace within. Cool. That's cute. Super cute. Yeah, I like that one. It doesn't look as good on screen as it does in real life, but my art style has always been pretty messy and chaotic. But that's cool to me. I'm into that. I am okay not being completely refined, and that's why I do everything I do. Just one take Tony, you know? I'm a one-take Tony. What can you do? All night doing this. What's with that? I think it's the rings make me feel so powerful. I'm Italian American. Okay, so I'm going over the wrist thing with people. Somebody sent me a video of like the TikTok trend where people do this, and they were like, no, it's just this. What is this? And it's like totally true, because if you do go like, then you stay there, because you can give a good flick, but you don't bring it back. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a back and forth. It's like a na kind of right? You stay flicked. You don't ever. Nobody does that. It's just like a for the drama, for the drama. But like this, not a thing. This is like if you're snapping. Okay. Somebody got real flustered about that. Oh, that would make sense. We talked about that. I can feel the cheesing. I feel some smiling and stuff. Somebody got a good laugh out of that. Good. It was meant to be funny. So, I feel like there's been a lot of new people. Hello. Oh, that's so fine. And I love your little, like, Bitmoji, emo guy, gal, person. Very cool. I need to get on the emote game. I got people